That's the bin that is outside number 21D, Belgrade, Belgrade Court. And the bin is obviously the rubbish bin that contains all the stuff that I was forced to leave behind in 21D Belgrave Court. And this man who has been doing the burning of the items and putting them in the bin, called Robert, is like the deadly character that features in a nightmare in a horror show. So he is the deadly one with apparently not the same kind of antagonism in his voice as the evilness personified has. But he is performing the same function. As the one which is the evilness personified, or evilness personification does. So there would be about, say, what? Let's say anything between 200 to 300 persons in residence within quotation marks at any given time in the various spaces collectively called the Joy Foundation, sick-makingly called the Joy Foundation. And I have not come across one single individual, most of them male. I have not come across one single individual who has any social conscience, objectively definable, describable social conscience, either among the residents or among the operatives that run the so-called Joy Foundation. How did they and how do they, how can they find such individuals of such bankrupt, absolutely bankrupt, moral bankruptcy? Where do they come from? They must be products of Satan itself. Satan must vet them, certifying describable as evil, as bankrupt, as blanks, moral blanks. The thing that there is a thing called David, is a Sikh called David. And as K. Jordan would say, grasshopper. He hops from one spot to the next without pause. He looks like a grasshopper, doesn't look at you, look in your direction but not at you, doesn't engage. And this grasshopper never stops. never stops to actually engage in any discourse. Concept of discourse must be very unknown to him. He doesn't answer his phone. He doesn't answer his phone. He doesn't answer his phone. Nor does any of the others that has got a phone number that I was given, offered by them. And when you ask for explanations to why they don't answer the phone, they say, I leave the phone behind, which is very untrue. Very much not what happens, what people do with their phones. They carry their phones as part of their physical existence. When the evilness called Daphne, the deputy manager, home manager at Oakland's careless contempt home, when she is asked to give me a copy of the care plan affecting my program of caring for me in return for Newham Council paying literally hundreds of pounds every day, allegedly for providing care, she would shout, she would scream, and she would screech, saying words to the effect, ask your social worker. Now, social worker, two words, simply do not exist. But the social worker was her co-evil that she was referring to, is an evilness called Okumo Ogwal. Now, the entirety of the staff of the Newham Council so-called social services and the so-called housing, the entirety of these sections or units are manned and womaned by people of African and Asian origins and descent. And these are people that are completely empty and devoid of any sense, any recognition of the idea of care, compassion, respect, dignity, and concern for the welfare and well-being of the people who are in residence, supposedly being cared for by these individuals. Care staff, they are not, they couldn't be more uncaring staff. Okuma Agwal said, when I arrived at his machinations to reside at 21D Belgrade Court, that there was no basic furniture. This criminal said I didn't need furniture. What that meant was that the laptop that I was still able to use, I would put on my lap. And because of the pain on my body, I could not stay for long carrying the burden, the weight of the laptop, which would then slip off my lap and fall on the floor, which happened in the course of about 14 months or so. It happened 100 times, thus destroying the screen of the laptop and the operating central processing unit, I think, as well. That is a direct result, direct consequence of the evilness called Okuma Ogwal. Now, this is 21:54 hours. GMT, 22:54 hours British Standard Time on Saturday, the 17th of August, 2024, and I'm sitting at the bus stop. And I'm sure that within the furlong around me, these three baby kittens are wondering what has happened to their meal. What has happened to their meal? And I say, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. When a resident of Tower Hamlets approached Turon Mia, who was running the shop in Hanbury Street, the video shop with a mixture of books and booklets from Bangladesh, this individual, who is now aged in their 40s, I think, approached Turon Mia, whose shop was the main HQ of the Khoodeelaar campaign in terms of contracts. When this individual approached him, in my absence, seeking advice from Mia to convince me to help this individual literally in the hours or mostly days after he and his wife had been arrested. He had been arrested along with his wife because of the crime that they had committed, clearly, of letting their council tenancy property to some Eastern European individuals. Well, they did commit a number of crimes, frauds, housing frauds. When they approached Turon Mia said to them, this individual, be careful not to tell lies to Baisa. Baisa meaning elder brother, that is me. Did this individual recognize the value to his life and his wife's life and to their children and the then yet to be born children of the actual benefit that they would have as a result of the intervention? They probably didn't. They probably didn't. So these